Everything we do in life, first date, food, sex, a new job, everything, we imagine it before it happens. Literally, we subconsciously think about everything, and most of the time it's higher than what it really is, right? So you almost set yourself up for disappointment. Our expectations shape our lives more than anything else, and so do the expectations of the people around us. Anticipation is a key component of any experience, and the mental image that arises as a result of that anticipation is your expectation. I divided expectations into two categories. Expectations towards life. Life isn't always fair. Sometimes life isn't fair in so many ways. Bad things are happening to good people all the time for no obvious reason. Expecting that you'll never face any adversity and believing that you won't be able to handle it if it does is simply denying the human experience. Life is already written, and what is going to happen is going to happen. It's the emotional reaction to it that we have to live with. Life has already been planned, and we are just executors of the already laid out plan, which makes so much sense seeing how we just happen to do something. And they seem not to work for us but for others, and vice versa. This is the beauty and splendor of life. Even if we may sometimes have no control over what happens in life, we do have emotional influence over how we respond. We can better navigate life's ups and downs by accepting whatever comes our way. Painful experiences and the happy ones, that's what brings balance. If everything in our life is so great and joyful, we won't appreciate happiness anymore or even enjoy it because it becomes the new normal and even boring. So the dark moments are always going to make us more appreciative of bright days. Expectations towards others. My closest relatives lived abroad when I was a kid, and they visited us every summer. I remember spending the entire year imagining how much they missed me and how happy they would be to see me. I even had high expectations of the gifts they would bring for me when they came to visit me in the summer, only to find out that they didn't give a shit about me. And oh boy, their present was a pair of cheap-ass looking sneakers from the dollar store. Regardless matter whether they are for our personal or professional lives, we all have expectations of others. We all want to be loved and accepted by everyone, yet we put entirely too much pressure on other people to live up to our expectations. In our naive imaginations, all of our loved ones, whether they be co-workers, classmates, roommates, friends, or family members, have one goal in mind: to make us happy. If they know what we want from them, they may focus their efforts more efficiently and reap the rewards of our appreciation rather than our disappointment. Imagining everything before it happens. One day, I applied for a new job and received a call from HR the next day for an interview. Once I ended the call, I instantly started to imagine how much money I would make. I even went so far as to imagine which car I would buy next and which apartment I would rent. I was then rejected for the job. We subconsciously imagine everything we want to do before it happens. Looking critically at the whole, we think about everything, all the way from the different dishes we have seen on social media that we would love to try out, to our next great trip to an exotic location. Some of these things we have decided to imagine may not be the exact thing when we carry them out, but they will always be replicas of each other. Most of the time, what we have imagined is a greater and better representation of what we are to expect, which could in turn be a disappointment. But it is cool to believe that we can't always have things our way. We also have to look back and see that there is something that turned out even greater than our expectations. This lays the foundation for the understanding of having a balance in our thought, having to level the loss and gains of our thoughts. Now, even if your plans and expectations had been met, you still wouldn't have been pleased with it. This is because the fact that you have lived it in your mind before already, the reality usually seems too low compared to what you've seen in your imaginations. With all of our expectations and imaginations, we have lost our sense of fulfillment when we achieve our goals and aspirations, and we have devalued the journey and satisfaction in reaching our goal. It makes finding satisfaction in our accomplishments challenging. Accept not to expect. Most of the time you expect so many things, but you don't even get half of what you wanted. It isn't because you don't deserve it, but you probably weren't ready for it at that point in your life. This understanding gives you a peace you can never understand. Being able to take your mind off those things you struggled for and expected greatly but didn't come is the greatest. And the peace that comes with acceptance can never be described. Acceptance comes with so many benefits. You no longer see life as a hurdle, but as a building. You need to take each step carefully. You see every failed step as a push to do more. You understand the beauty of life and what it has in store for you. You understand that life isn't always as happy as it seems, and sometimes when it doesn't feel so happy, you have to share in its sadness. Understanding all this helps you move on as an entity. You feel more peaceful in your soul and spirit. Your senses are more relaxed about those little things you would have ordinarily reacted to and stressed about, and at a point, things don't bother you anymore. Accept life as it is, do the things you can do, and leave the rest. Be your own person and understand that no one is there for you except yourself. Own up to whichever decision you have made. Live your life to the fullest. Don't be so scared about messing up, because if you're going to mess up, it was already written. It was always going to happen. It's the way you deal with it at the moment that counts. Don't expect too much from others or from life. Just accept whatever comes your way to reach a more peaceful life.